off, but I do want to watch the big brain geniuses of Joseph Robinette Rogan and what's the other
Rogan
dude?
Experience.
This I will fucking watch, okay?
Anyone defending institutional Wall Street right now got an envelope with photos of themselves at Jeffrey Epstein's birthday. So what Jamie's just pulled up with that and what Tim was talking about is this insane situation that's happening. It started out with GameStop on with these intelligent vipers from Reddit decided they were going to figure out here's the thing. Wall Street speculation and these people that have been these hedge fund guys, they've been manipulating the stock market in a very similar way forever.
Yeah.
But these guys on Reddit decided to get together collectively. And what is it called? The subreddit called Wall Street Bets.
Yep.
So Wall Street Bets decided that these hedge funds were shorting GameStop, right? So they decided we're going to buy GameStop. We're going to fuck their whole...
Okay, I'm skipping this part of him fucking describing it in the most ape way possible because I have already done that to you for the past couple days numerous times over and over again.
It shot up to $300 to $400 at some point yesterday,
which is
even
crazy.
Today, a little bit,
It's crazy. That's a crazy jump for no reason, and it was all because of these guys. So this is where it gets complicated because now regulars. Do me a favor and go to Sagar. His Instagram page because he gave me permission to play this today because he just talks about how this is really exposing the actual corruption in the stock market and real market.
And that's why you got fucking homies like Jimmy Dore promoting this like Boogaloo boys are actually fucking good, by the way, rhetoric, despite the fact that these are like ANCAP LARPing dipshits, okay? Unless they change their point of view, in which case, like, yeah, no, I'm all on board, brother. If you're gonna be on my side on issues, then that's great. But you know, but that's why a lot of these people are doing this. Like, oh, it's actually the populists that are you know, fighting against the neoliberals, and we gotta side with the populists, no matter who they are or what they are. You know what I mean? And that's because Joe Rogan is doing that. Populist molding. I mean, people say I'm a populist. I am kind of a left-wing populist. Okay, so I think that's still dumb as fuck to be like, oh yeah, like it's all populist and it's always populist against the establishment. It's like, no, it is populist against the establishment, but you also have to recognize that like there is a side of populism, which is there is a side of fucking populism that is right-wing, I guess, of populism, which is no, not good at all. It's just nationalism, and it's just fascism and nationalism, and that's not good at all. And the people that think that we can side with these people have not recognized that those people and their goals are drastically different. And if you don't actually talk to them and change their minds and describe to them that like a better future is possible, but not in the way that they envision it, it's worthless.
Manipulation.
Jesus. Because
because they're trying to do something about the fact that these Wall Street guys are getting fucked over, and like hedge funds have lost billions of dollars because of this. And so, but the thing is that now that these guys, let's play it. Let's play it real quick.
This was the one you sent me yesterday, right?
No,
The newer one?
Yes, the one from today.
Oh, I didn't know they had a newer one.
Let me. I'll
This
send
one,
it.
Regulate and Reform.
Perhaps. Let's see.
All right, Sagar, what's on your radar?
Well, I have a confession to make. This is the first story that's exciting me.
So you don't consider populism a bad thing, or did I misunderstand? No, I don't consider populism to be categorically a bad thing. Okay? Like, especially at a time when technocratic neoliberalism has fucking eviscerated the global south and it has ruined the American economy as well. No, I don't think that like that sort of I'm smarter than you. We need to do things in the smart pants way. It's actually free market solutions sold to you as incremental change for the better. Like that shit is not that shit is demonstrably a failure. Okay?
in a long time, covering the pandemic and Trump and Stop the Steal.
Don't
and
watch
Capitol
this, it's
riots and the
Sagar.
Biden
Okay.
presidency. It's been a real bummer. And I have not felt a pep in my step like this in many months, and it is now thanks to a bunch of Redditors going after the people I despise the most in our society, speculators on Wall Street. By now, I'm sure that you're all familiar with the story. Hedge funds and billionaires took out a massive short position on the company called Gamestop. A band of Redditors on a subreddit called Wall Street Bets called their bluff, drove the stock up to the tune of thousands of percentile more to force those hedge funds to liquidate billions of dollars in losses, while the merry band of Redditors gets rich. It's the ultimate David and Goliath story. Underemployed and unemployed, sitting at home in their pajamas, using the power of the internet and new trading platforms like Robinhood to destroy the kings of American finance. We are never going to go back to the old ways of doing business, and Wall Street knows this. So what's their solution? It's one that we, my friends, must resist absolutely at all costs. Now they know that they do not have a monopoly on manipulating the market. They are going to do everything in their power to go after you and people like me who are not on the side of the billionaire elite. As I laid out yesterday, they are already going into overdrive on CNBC, who started off yesterday by inviting the literal CEO of the NASDAQ on to call for more regulation. Let's take a listen to that again.
One of the things that we're talking about is maybe misinformation and pump and dumps, and it's occurring on social media again. It just, I'm wondering whether it's part of the same problem, the type of regulation that we finally need to consider. And like I said, we should always have a light touch with regulation, but you're seeing the way things can get started. Again, this is different. Maybe it's Reddit, maybe it's not Facebook, but
It's just so fucking pathetic, dude. If your call for regulation comes the first fucking time that like poor people may have the opportunity to make a buck, then you're such a piece of shit. You're giving an opportunity for so many asshats to also come across as like right in this argument too.
you're seeing the same situation.
He's
At
flustered.
this point, it's not
Yeah,
about an
like a
election. It's not
motherfucker.
about a
Well, he's also
an
pause for a
insurrection,
second.
but
Pause for a
there-
second. He's also calling for regulation.
Yes.
They never call for regulation.
Never. He's super
Assholes
flustered.
like him. The
Never.
last thing that guy wants,
Yeah.
in terms of like being able to manipulate the market and make as much money as possible,
Yeah.
is fucking regulation.
Yeah.
So
He's
him
calling
calling for
for it.
regulation is kind of hilarious, and him saying that they're manipulating it with social media, like this is literally what they do.
Yep.
It's what they do.
Yep.
Keep going.
His neck
there are
bothers
interesting
me.
things
It is wild to see how many people are correct on this take, though. Like, it is wild to see how many people are actually right on the money with this. Even those who normally would be like anti-regulation, right, are saying the right things. And I wonder where this goes. Like, I do legitimately wonder. Like, I know where fucking Joe Rogan is on these sorts of matters, and he's always had like decent takes on poverty. That is like literally the most redeeming quality of Joe Rogan is that he himself comes from a poor background and understands what it takes, and that's why he's, whenever he talks about those sorts of issues, he's good at like shitting on even the likes of Ben Shabibo. But it's because finally it's a very obvious, plain and simple idea that pretty much everyone can see. Well, it's also a direct shitting on the capitalist American dream. Like, you told people for years that like this is how you can make money and this is the American dream. And for a lot of people, and it was bullshit to begin with, okay? That was always bullshit. But now they think like, okay, well, I'm doing the right things. I landed on like a lucky streak. And I am following the American dream in the most capitalist way I possibly could by fucking participating in the stock market. And now you're going to tell me, no, not like that? Well, fuck you. And that's part of the reason why people are so agitated against it. But my fear is that they won't learn anything from this at all, or they won't be able to look at the lessons that they're learning here and apply it to other aspects of their immediate lives, whether it be their relationship with their managers, whether the relationship with managers have with business owners, whether it's with pretty much like every other facet of their lives that is political, that they do not recognize as political. And I am a little less confident because the people that I see being uplifted to the top as like the spokesperson of this movement overall are people like fucking Dave Portnoy. And those people I don't think are going to actually turn around and be like, yeah, we need to have a workers' uprising. They fucking hate that. Dave Portnoy literally got owned by the Dave Portnoy got actually fucking owned by because he tweeted out that he was going to because he tweeted out that he fucking was going to union bust basically, and the NLRB like sued him or sent him a cease and desist. So he's not like the pro-worker populist guy, right? So I don't know where that goes. It's like Dave Portnoy, Tucker Carlson, Sauger, Joe Rogan. These guys are not, some of them are sharks and purposely avoid the fundamentals despite knowing better. And some of them are oblivious, but well entrenched in their worldview that is already hyper-capitalist, right? I agree with your take, but someone pointed out the possibility everyone on Reddit coordinating could be considered collusion. Can you give the take? No, it's not collusion. It's fucking stupid. Joe Rogan and Dave Portnoy are justifying their anger by saying that these specific Wall Street folks are to blame, not Wall Street as a system. Yeah, and that is the problem, because I think a lot of people are not going to recognize that there is... I think a lot of people are not recognizing that, like, this has all been manipulation always. And like when the rich make the money, it's fine. But when you make the money, it's not fine. And that we need to completely reorganize or redesign this structure. And they're not going to... I don't know. I don't think that this is going to fundamentally change people's minds at all, right? Portnoy has money in AMC and NOK stocks himself, and he said he's already lost $1 million. This is pure self-interest on his part to save his stocks from free fall, even though he might be right. Yeah. I don't know. I hope it works. Like, I hear the stock guy who normally, and no disrespect to him, but like the stock guy who normally says he doesn't like to talk about politics, preaching in front of AOC using very like left-leaning rhetoric. And I don't know if I should be excited about that because it's genuine, and it could be. And I'm literally not saying that it's not. I'm saying that it could be a genuine change of pace, right? Or it's something that he legitimately believed all along, because I'm not very familiar with what he says. But I see that and I get excited for a brief moment because I'm like, well, is this people changing? Is this like a genuine change in people's minds where they like are met with the reality, or are they still severely anti-regulation and they're just upset about the regulatory burden because in this instance, it is attacking them. Thank you, Rick and Rhodes, for the 10 tier 1 gifted subs. PSG is very left-leaning. He just wants to not alienate right-wingers and keep politics out of it. It's a leftist view of a right-wing idea, the ultimate centrist? I don't know. It could be, but if it only applies to the stock market, then it's pretty useless. Anyway, he said he didn't like regulation on the AOC stream. What the fuck are you talking about? He said left-wing shit. He's a right-winger making money off this shit. Don't be fooled. I mean, he did say that he doesn't like regulation in the end of it. So I don't know. I don't know. I that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I am unfamiliar and I do not know. But if it's genuine and if its attitudes have always been left-leaning or leftist, then that's great. I would be very surprised if the stock guy is like that, but this will all open people's eyes to crypto, but the Dogecoin shit is a pump and dump. People are going to lose a lot of money. Do not buy Doge for it to hit. Okay, shut up. I hate that. The crypto side of things, I literally do not want to talk about. Okay? Because regulation can only fuck the little guy. TSG espoused that it's always been rigged by hedgies. Seems to me the traditional leftist position would be increasing stock market regulation, but I don't see how this situation merits more regulation. No, the situation merits more regulation that stops hedge funds from making these sorts of moves, not a regulation that only stops retail investors from making these sorts of moves. Do you understand? I think a lot of them are against cronyism. Some of them are realizing that just means capitalism. It is. It is. Cronyism is just capitalism. The stock guy's a libertarian conservative? No, really? He didn't sound like a libertarian conservative. Anyway, this is not just about the stock guy. This is what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of people like the stock guy. There are a lot of people that are currently watching this unfold that have a material stake in this that they can recognize. Do you understand? Because normally, hey guys, shut the fuck up about the tier 3 subs. I already said thank you for the 10 tier 3 subs. Okay, here, how about this motherfucker? 22 months, 1 week off for you. Okay, shut up. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. This is why I can't have the fucking stream open with the fucking chat on the side, dude. You literally can't shut the fuck up. I'm constantly reading it, dude. You know I'm constantly reading the fucking chat. You just can't fucking stop crying. For the people who are saying you've changed, I very clearly did not fucking change. I used to yell a lot more to my chat. Thank you once again for the 10 tier 3 gift subs, Rickon Rhodes. Okay? No, I didn't ban them. I just gave them a fucking week off to shut the fuck up. And if you cry about getting fucking unbanned now, which I'm not looking at the chat, I'm going to ban you further, okay? Jesus Christ, dude. The point I was trying to fucking make is that there are a lot of people that have there are a lot of people who are potentially changing their minds. Or they're not. I don't know. I legitimately do not know what this represents. If this is a genuine change for some people that recognize that the system is designed against them and what kind of actions they take further or how they can apply the lessons that they're learning from this because they, for the first time ever, have an immediate material stake in this, then it's a good thing. Okay? It's overall a good thing. Nuke the huggers, please. Nuke the huggers for 10 minutes. Please, I beg you. Nuke them as well. Fucking weirdos, dude. Like, oh my God. We need to fucking hug one another over the internet. It is like, it literally just like reeks of fucking so much parasocial relationship that it like makes me despise the fucking community. Okay? Like, you literally are, you act in such a weird way, okay? I'm still a fucking entertainer, all right? Please stop. Stop. This is not like a real fucking a moment of an outburst and anger that like is genuinely supposed to impact your life. If it does, then you probably need to take some time off, okay? And I probably need to take some fucking time off because of how I react to it. But like, please stop doing that. It's so weird. It is so fucking weird, man. It is so weird. It's like we're in this abusive relationship and I'm abusing you with my words or something. And it's so fucking cringe. And it just really, really weirds me out. Okay? Please. And for the people that don't understand what I'm talking about, every time I fucking play like video games or whatever, and I'm not constantly looking at the chat and reacting, they start acting out in this weird ass way where they're like, oh, hug one another. He's not looking at us, chat. He's not talking to us, chat. And it's really fucking weird. It is really, 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 really weird, man. It bothers me because it's like, it just like reeks of parasocial relationship to a way that is like legitimately very openly unhealthy. Okay? Because like the singular moment where I'm not immediately fucking reacting to every single person or like reading the chat is a moment where they're like ignored, like they have a separation anxiety or something. And it's not good. Maybe it's been there this entire fucking time, or maybe it's because it's in my face now and I see it, and that's why I get so frustrated by it. I don't know. It's probably the latter though. Like, you are my best friend and you're ignoring me is like the kind of attitude that people have, and it's very frustrating. So the reason why I'm like actually pushing back against it is because you can't be so fucking codependent. Some of it is a joke, but I think some of it is not a fucking joke. Anyway.
Happening that seem to be spawned to some extent, or at least blown out of proportion by social media again, Adina.
Well, I do think, though, that as we look at these new technologies that are there available to everyone, including investors, I think it's also important for regulators to understand that, you know, manipulation is manipulation, whether it's happening through a new technology medium or it's happening through traditional mail.
She's the tightest skin
I think
I've
it's
ever
just
seen.
a matter of making sure that we understand what the behavior is, what's underpinning the behavior, and working appropriately with the regulators to manage the situation.
She looks like a female version of the blind scientist from Contact with Jodie Foster. Tell me she doesn't. Pull up an image of that guy. He's a
all these
famous
people
actor.
on this clip have issues. He has Richard Ramirez teeth. It's a nightmare.
Contact with Jodie Foster. Go to images. The guy in the far right. Yeah.
Oh, a little bit.
Come on, give me that picture.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Come on, right there.
Yeah.
Now go back to her.
No, they look pretty fucking similar. Yeah, good call, dog. Good reference. Almost identical.
That's so crazy.
It's the cheekbones and the mouth.
Are you sure that's not him or her? I don't mean to dead name or misgender. Okay, keep playing it.
Working appropriately with the regulators to manage the situation.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. The guy from CNBC who hates regulation is now calling for more regulation. And the CEO of the head of one of the largest trading exchanges in the world is agreeing with him. Notice, when hedge funds manipulate markets, when they screw over regular people in different companies, when Wall Street requires billions of dollars in bailouts and floats from the Federal Reserve, there isn't any call for more regulation. But a couple of average Joes on the internet make money at the expense of a billionaire hedge fund. Well, that just can't stand. And I'm not exaggerating here, just showing you one clip. The idea across the American elite right now is that what has happened with GameStop is unacceptable. Don't believe me? Check this out. As GameStop and other stocks soared, Arthur Levitt Jr., he decided to weigh in. And if you don't know who that is, it's the former SEC chairman who literally presided over the dot-com bubble and was appointed by Bill Clinton, who perhaps more than any president is responsible for much of the financialization of our economy beginning in his administration. Levitt wrote an op-ed in Bloomberg calling for a full agent.
Yeah, dude. Tucker Carlson. I literally just said Tucker Carlson because he's such a fucking Tucker Carlson LARPer, dude. It is crazy. Yeah. Famously anti-financialization of the American economy. Presidents include, of course, Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush. You know, those are the famous anti-financialization of the American economy presidents. Like, he's right on Bill Clinton. And the thing that frustrates me to no end is look, here's what I don't do, okay? I will shit on Bill Clinton all the fucking time, all goddamn day, because he is genuinely at fault. His administration is genuinely at fault for a lot of the problems that you've seen here. But what frustrates me to no fucking end is when you avoid the other side of the equation. When you don't fucking purposefully talk about the Republicans or even the Republicans under the Clinton administration that purposely advocated for that. Like, it's not like when Bill Clinton was doing this shit, like Republicans were like, "Oh, dude, I'm so mad. I can't believe that I just simply cannot believe that you know that I don't even fucking know anymore, dude. My brain has stopped functioning. I'm so mad. I have to go pee. I'll be back. Just
investigation into online stock trading platforms, and said that social media is taking advantage of users' behavioral psychology and pushing them into dangerous territory. Okay, maybe. I don't even really disagree with that. But doesn't it just tell you everything? That this is what they want to investigate now? That this is what they want the government to do something about now? Don't underestimate how mainstream this view is. Yesterday, the White House press secretary said Janet Yellen is, quote, monitoring the situation. Elizabeth Warren tweeted out that we needed more regulation. The state securities regulator for the state of Massachusetts said GameStop trading should be halted for 30 days. And the SEC now says they're working with regulators to assess the situation, review the activities, and other participants. Like I said, hey, maybe that's justified, but you people are silent on the crimes of the actually influential people who rig our economy on a daily basis. You want a near-perfect corollary? Billionaire investor Bill Ackman. He went on CNBC in March 2020 to give an emotional interview to say hell is coming and that hotel stocks would go to zero. His interview sparked a panic sell on Wall Street. It is seen in retrospect as one of the precipitating events of that drop. Guess what? At the exact same time, right after that interview, Ackman was buying billions of dollars in the stock as it hit rock bottom.
Jesus.
In fact, he pocketed $2 billion in bets against the market as it was crashing.
Okay, let's pause.
It was a crash.
Billionaire's gonna billionaire, man.
Catch new episodes of the
everyone else getting Tucker vibes from this guy. He is trying. He's like, he loves Tucker Carlson. He's trying to be like Tucker Carlson. I think he also worked for Tucker Carlson. He also tries to sound like Tucker Carlson, yes. I want to look at something here. And I don't know if there are I don't know if I can find this immediately, but I want to see like I want to see the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act and how it was seen at the time by Republicans in Congress. Okay? The Financial Services Modernization Act of 1999. This is what Sagar is referencing when he says like Bill Clinton is responsible for deregulating the markets, right? Dude. Anyway. At the time, while Bill Clinton signed this into law, the banking industry has been looking to fucking repeal it for the longest time. But at the time when it was signed into law, just because it was signed into law by a Democratic administration, does not change the reality that it was advocated for by Republicans. The co-sponsors of the act, Senator Phil Gramm, Republican from Texas, Representative Jim Leach from Iowa, Republican, Representative Thomas J. Bliley Jr., Republican from Virginia, are the co-sponsor of the Graham-Leach-Bliley Act. Like, this is still actively agitated by those who have the interests of the banking industry and not the interests of the little guy at heart. And the frustrating part about this, in the way that this sort of thing gets represented by Republican sharks who are still, while they remain populist, basically, while they act like they are populist, and you know, look at how bad Bill Clinton was, they completely avoid criticizing the Republicans that are also responsible. As a matter of fact, probably have even more to do with deregulation. And what this did at least, is destroy the barrier between investment banking and commercial banking, for those of you who are unfamiliar. Like, there's a Bank of America Merrill Lynch now as a consequence of this, if that is like one immediate way I can describe it. Okay? It removed barriers in the market among banking companies, securities companies, and insurance companies that prohibited any one institution from acting as any combination of an investment bank, a commercial bank, and an insurance company. With the bipartisan passage of the Graham-Leach-Bliley Act, commercial banks, investment banks, securities firms, and insurance companies were allowed to consolidate. Furthermore, it failed to give the SEC or any other financial regulatory agency with the authority to regulate large investment bank holding companies. And Bill Clinton signed this into law. A year before the law passed, Citicorp, a commercial bank holding company, merged with the insurance company Travelers Group in 1998 to form the conglomerate Citigroup, a corporation combining banking, securities, and insurance services under a house of brands that include Citibank, Smith Barney, Primerica, and Travelers. Because this merger was a violation of the act, the Glass-Steagall Act, and the Bank Holding Company Act of 1956, the Federal Reserve gave Citigroup a temporary waiver in September 1998. And then they legalized it. They moved to legalize it. Since then, there has been so much consolidation. Okay? And that's part of the reason why we have this too big to fail mentality. Now, this might have fucking happened under the Clinton administration, but stop using Wikipedia as a source of information. It's irrelevant on literal. Oh God, please. I can't do this. You are so fucking stupid, dude. Like, this is something that happened and it's not a lie. Okay? Like, they're not lying about what's going on with the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act. Like, that's not, just because you don't know what this is, does not mean that this did not happen. Stop sending me that fucking David Dayen article because it's from 2016 and it clearly did not happen. Okay? I love David. Okay? David is a friend of the show, but you keep sending me that same fucking Intercept article from 2016 as though, like, Republicans legitimately cared about it. It didn't happen, and they don't care about it. Donald Trump literally talked about increasing capital gains tax when he was running and then turned around and did the exact opposite of it and acted like he had never said that. What has you on edge today? Is it the controller? No, I'm a little, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I was in such a good fucking mood and now I'm no longer in a good mood. I don't know why.